Oh, well, that's interesting. So a cleric came by and used this statue. He wasn't in my group, but I still got the buff. Blessing of Joaquin. Monetary gains increased by 5% for 3 minutes for each blessing I acquire. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, I've decided while waiting for this queue to pop, I'm going to move on to the next quest, find the Nasher headquarters, and kill Karzov. What has he done to deserve my ire? Well, I believe he stole a crown. I don't know. Sad part is I haven't really been paying attention to the story on any of the playthroughs I've been doing so far. Whoa, that kind of hurt. Hey, look. Level 9. Let's see what we get. New encounter power, Lashing Blade. Focus your strength into one furious attack, inflicting massive damage on your enemy, and it does additional damage while stealthed. So that's beautiful. I'm not really using Death Strike a lot, honestly. I've noticed that I don't have much care for it. Now, Bait and Switch is something I don't want to get rid of, and Dazing Strike is very nice because of the fact that it just does that daze ability. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this Lashing Blade. Now let's see if I can change it when I'm not in a... Okay, yeah, see, it did let me change it. See, I don't believe it's supposed to let me do that if I'm not in one of these zones. So there's very much a possibility of a bug being there, allowing me to change my skills when I shouldn't be able to. Or maybe... Okay. That's interesting. So when I'm in the fireplace, there's no cooldown. But if I'm not by the fireplace, there was a 10-second cooldown imposed upon me. I wonder if that's going to increase with level. So this could be kind of like how Diablo 3 did it, where in the beginning you'll get a small cooldown because you're unlocking new abilities as you go, and then maybe it'll get higher. I don't know. I certainly... I have my hopes that it will, just because it seems a little easy to be able to just swap out skills in the middle of an instance. You know, you should have to plan a little bit, work with your group. Oh, I love that skill. It looks pretty cool. Alright, let's, Oh, I thought they would charge forward, and they didn't. Oh dear. Pull back. Okay, got him. Let's move in and do the stun. Hit quite a few of them. We're going to use the stab. I like the fact that you just see this giant sword kind of stabbing from the side, like you just have this massive backstab dagger that you just carry with you. It's huge. It's huge. Lashing Blade. That's pretty cool. It's got a neat aesthetic to it. I just, you know, I wasn't expecting that kind of a spell effect. Alright, well, let's go exploring. Over to the right, we've got, looks like more lore that we can discover. An Arcana set and a treasure chest. As you can see, you can go through there, but I'm just going to keep exploring real quick, just because that's what half the fun is. Alright, I saw a secret. Check this out. Okay, this is cool. Let's see, can I make this work? Oh, I deflected 9 damage from falling. I don't know how that happened. Okay, right here, I can kind of strafe along the way here. Dungeoneering, which I don't have. Okay, I can't jump over there, but can I jump across and land on these rafters? There we go. Check that out. I found a sack up in the rafters with iron ore and a local map. Apparently that's just something to sell. That is cool. Seriously, you don't see that a lot. Now, I will say that Guild Wars did a really good job with that. In a lot of cases, I'm going to see if I just can't find more stuff out there. Guild Wars had these really cool jumping puzzles that you could get items from, and they were scattered throughout the world. So I would say, as far as a game that comes close to this, yeah, Guild Wars is definitely it. But again, when it comes to comparisons between this and Guild Wars, I have a preference to this because I feel the combat in this is a little better than Guild Wars. So Guild Wars has the exploration, but if this game continues along this path that it's on, and it's got items like that that I can just keep finding, then yeah, this will definitely be an awesome game in that regard. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of in-game stuff this is going to have. You know, is there going to be like some kind of raiding, multi-man stuff? I really need to look into it. I know the Astral Diamonds are supposed to be a way for you to keep getting items and continue playing. It was on their FAQ regarding how their business model was going to work. And that was one of the things, is you would basically have an allotment of diamonds a day or something like that, and then you would move on. You'd be able to basically play for as long as you had those for the high-end stuff, and then if you wanted more, you could pretty much buy them. So you were basically paying for additional time, almost like a subscription model. I'll have to look into it a bit more. I'll be honest, I haven't looked too deeply into how they've been thinking about handling this. Ow. Oh, he knocked me out of it. I got plenty of healing potions. Just use one. I just want to say something while I'm here. You know, I mentioned a little on my first look at the game, and kind of my initial assessment of the game is that the graphics weren't that great. And I'm going to say that, yeah, I mean, I'm still looking at it. I'm not overly impressed, but there is one thing that this game has, is that its aesthetics. And these levels definitely have a good feel for them. And their layouts, just the way they're designed in general. I mean, there's kind of just a good feel to it. I mean, the up-close details and all that may not be quite all there, but when you look at everything as a cohesive whole, there's definitely a good feeling about the design, I think, regarding this game. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. You know, even though I harped on the game's graphics just a little bit, again, graphics are not everything. And I definitely enjoy the game for its playstyle and just its overall feel. From an art standpoint, the art's not bad. It's just the graphic engine seems, yeah, at times a little dated. But you have to consider this too. This is an MMO, so a lot of MMOs will sacrifice graphic fidelity in order to make the game usable on a wide range of systems. Not only that, not only do you have to compensate for there being a ton of different computers out there, but you're talking about a game that's going to have a lot of people in one spot. So if the game has super high graphic fidelity and there's a lot of players with a lot of textures, a lot of spell effects going off, people with weaker machines are not going to be able to handle that. So therefore, even though it's a little dated, here's the thing: is I think the styling of Guild Wars is just a touch bit better in that regard. But, you know, I can't fault them for doing it that way. Again, Guild Wars is a full $60 product, so it's kind of hard to legitimately compare them in that regards. Uh-oh. Oh, that was just a backhand, huh? Oh, jeez. Okay. Alright, let's just use this daily power. Come on. I'm gonna join the party here in a moment. Gosh, that whirlwind. I need to beat this guy and get into that group. Of course it would pop at like the worst moment. Ah! You bloody thing, you. You bloody hell. Right at the end of the instance. Man. Alright, got the Crown of Neverwinter. And a new dagger. And some lore. The gunpowder, treason, and plot, apparently. Oh well, here's hoping that I can get the queue again. That took a while for it to pop. I'm really disappointed that I missed it. Alright, so dagger. More damage, more power, less critical strike, but I think that is fine. Let's go ahead and use that. And again, comparing. Kind of a chore, but perfectly fine. I'll deal with it. Alright, so I got some rings here finally. This one here gives me some critical strike and armor pin. Now, rings are going to be just like main hand offhand. I've got 2 rings. I can swap them around at will in order to make sure I'm comparing properly. When you double click, it always equips to main hand, so if you ever want to switch things around, you either drag or you just need to quickly do that. Or, as you can see here from all of these items, there's these little menus here. I can click, for example, on this armor or this dagger here. You can see there's several options. I can unequip, I can change appearance, I can discard, enchant it, disable the visual. It depends on what you're looking at. So probably helms I could disable and things like that. Or I can say equip this new item. So you have ways of swapping out gear just by clicking on these little buttons here. So they've done a really great job with the interface, I think. They've added multiple ways of doing things, so you can pick whichever one is most... basically, it's easier for you to use if you like using the little buttons, or if you're used to other games, you can do that. Alright, looks like we're moving on to the Tower District. And the beautiful thing is, even though I'm not on the same map, it's keeping me in the skirmish queue. So I will continue to wait for that. I'm still sad that I missed out on that. That's okay, we're moving on. We're in the next map.
The orcs of the Many Arrows tribe are threatening to overwhelm this area of the city. The Neverwinter Guard could use your help in driving them back. If you're interested, talk to Sergeant Creed at the Fallen Tower.
Oh, fun times. Orcs! Work, 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 spork, spork, spork. Well, someone is apparently getting hit by a whole bunch of orcs here at the tower. Let's just help them out, shall we? As you can see, they're kind of standing in the fire.
Hail, adventurer.
So we're getting very close, almost level 10, and then I can start showing off some of the other abilities. So here we have a bounty master, the first that we run into. Of course, he's got a quest for us, the orc bounty, collect 5 mini arrow insignias from the orcs. So this is kind of your introduction into how the bounty system here works for these guys. I don't know all the details and how exactly it works, but I know that throughout the time here I'm going to be killing orcs and I'm going to get these insignias, and a whole bunch of them. If you go to the store, you can see that 10 of these will give you a mini arrows treasure cache. So you can open that to receive some new equipment. So as you're killing, you get 10. You can go ahead and turn them in for that. If you get 40, you can get the Seal of the Lion, which you can see is a blue. And you can trade these in to acquire special gear for anyone that collects them. So I imagine that's how your high-end stuff is going to come from. So instead of maybe doing reputation quests like Warcraft might have you do, here you'll be collecting a bunch of items to trade them in for another item or something like that. Like, this is how you might get your high-end gear. I'm not sure. Now, unfortunately, it does take up inventory space for it, although it could just be for the quest. I believe it does take up inventory space as you go. It's hard to say. See, there's even a whole inventory box down there. I haven't looked into that much. I kind of hope that it doesn't, because it would kind of suck to have to gather a whole bunch of different types of currency and have it take up your inventory space. So I got a bunch of quests, but there's also another one here in this little place here. This is the Fallen Tower Tavern. And I kind of want to show this place off because I thought this was rather amusing. It's Just a little tavern with a unlock, and of course you've got a vendor. Sells you potions of healings and all potions of healing and all that. So let's just. Hey, another ring. I just can't use it until I am level 12. That's a bit off. All right, but beyond that, I mean, this is nothing too big here. A bunch of patrons here at a bar. Yeah, there's a quest here. Oh, and a player created. Saying here, Red Rock Heritage. So very nice. Yeah, there's a quest in here. Topping off. Take the beer mugs and deliver them to the thirsty patrons. 285 experience and a silver. You know what? This is such an easy quest. You just pick up the mugs. You talk to people. You say, want another beer? Here you go. And there you go. You just walk around and you do that. And this is like the easiest quest I've ever done, and it's hilarious that you just go around giving beer to people. It amuses me. As far as why there's this giant pyre and... I don't know. That doesn't look natural, does it? Oh, here we go. These guys here. Deliver. Want a beer? Have at it. Have fun with that. And that's it. Seriously, it's... Not bad. It's a quick quest, easy quest. Just glad to have it. Now, one moment here. I'm going to check my mail system because I got something. Oh, that's weird. I could have sworn it said I had new mail earlier, and now it says I don't. Shame that. Alright, now what I was hoping while I came in here was to show that there is a public quest system kind of like Warhammer had, and in a sense kind of like Guild Wars had, since Guild Wars had a lot of dynamic quests. Doesn't appear to be here. Every now and then there's going to be this hunt for idols that happens in this map. I believe it's like pretty much all throughout this map. And your job is to go around and just find these random items, these idols, scattered throughout the map. And as you pick them up, it counts towards your tally. You don't have to go turn them in, so that's nice. But as you collect them, you'll get a rank. And your rank will eventually be determined by how many you turn in. And you can knock someone else down from it. So if there's a tie, you won't, and it's based on, you know, bronze, silver, gold. And if you're tied, so like there's, you know, say everybody on gold gets 5 turn-ins of this thing, everybody gets it. And of course anyone that has 4 gets silver. So it's not like Guild Wars in that you get bronze, silver, or gold based on your personal participation. Like, if I turn in 4, I'll always get gold. That's not true. I'll only always get gold if I turn in 4 if no one else turned in 5 or 6. So it's very much a competition thing while maintaining this whole co-op aesthetic. So that's kind of cool, and it does give you a ranking. It tells you, here's your rank, and it shows you how you compared to everybody else and the players in the zone that you were competing against. I like that. I mean, that's why I referred to that system more from Warhammer than I did from Guild Wars when I originally talked about it, is because that's what Warhammer did. And Warhammer, when I first got introduced to that system, you got a ranking, and it would show you the players who participated, the damage they did, and all that wonderful stuff. So you could get an idea of what your accomplishments on it were. Alright, backing off a little bit. This place is pretty busy, gotta say. There is definitely a large density in this area, in this whole Joaquin Way. Alright, let's help you with a stun. Oh, guess you didn't need it. Alright. Yeah, people are talking about the queuing, so I was kind of looking at the chat there. You've got the queuing system, as you can tell, like what I'm trying to use. And people are basically saying, you know, there's such a long wait in the queue that it's just better to ask and try and get a group established. And I can kind of understand that. And I think the problem is a lot of people don't know about it. And what they really need to do is get a maybe some kind of tutorial on it to let you know this is what you need to do. I think might be a good idea, because you know, you get in these quests that tell you you need to do a skirmish. It doesn't necessarily tell you to do that, at least not that I've seen. Or at least it's easy to gloss over, especially if you're doing like me, where I'm running very quickly and I don't necessarily know it's there because I didn't quite read it, because I'm trying to get as far as possible. So unfortunately, what'll happen is more people will start to use it, and it'll get better as time goes by. But obviously, at first, this especially being a beta, kind of closed beta, we're not going to see that for a while. Oh, here we go. A nice level 10. As you can see, I believe he's considered an elite. You can see that he's got a little bit of some spikes around his nameplate. So what I'm going to use, my shadows here, I'm going to just do my best to take this guy out. Now, I probably could have taken him without the help here, but it's always nice to have a control wizard helping, because as you can see, he's choking him, freezing him. Control wizards are so good at doing that. Oh, and he was guarding a treasure sack. Awesome. Ah, I like that. Lore Weaver saying most people beg for an instance finder tool, and you know, here's one that has it. No one uses it. I think the problem is it's not that no one uses it or wants to use it. It's just people don't know it's quite there. So, new Neverwinter players, keep in mind, hit that K button, get yourself queued up for anything that you want, if you want to do it. It's supposed to be better than just having to spam LFG everywhere. Alright, let's, there we go, do a little bit of a stun. Hey, a thievery kit. So, you know, if I wasn't a rogue like I am, I could totally use it. Well, now, from what I can tell, anything I see on the ground, loot-wise, is mine. It's mine to pick up. It's, you know, my loot. I'm not seeing loot from other players. I'm not stealing loot from other players. It is mine. So it's very much a Diablo Torchlight, whatever, feel. That, hey, you see it, go ahead and grab it, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, I think this wizard's just kind of hanging out and following me. Okay, I thought I'd just kind of further mention about this system when it comes to bounties. I noticed that aside from the mini arrows insignia, I have this sludge sample that apparently gets turned into bounty masters in the Black Lake District. So you can see there's different items for different districts that will give you different favors and things like that.
Give you strength. Well,
Even if I don't know what the ultimate rewards for them are.
excellent work. Before we secured the road,